This is the new Audi Q7, and Audi says it's the cleverest, most advanced luxury SUV they've ever built, a diesel flagship for the electric age. But I'm not convinced, and in about 4 minutes, you'll see exactly why. Because in 2026, when every car maker on Earth is screaming at you to go electric, Audi has just dropped a 90 grand 7-seat SUV that runs on diesel. And it'll happily drink used cooking oil. Yes, this thing could, in theory, be fueled by the leftovers from your local chippy. Bold, or completely insane? Let's find out. Now, this third-generation Q7 has finally stopped being the soft, rounded family blob it used to be. It's gone all upright. Taller grille, sharper shoulders, a roofline flatter than a Belgian motorway. Except, and this is the bit Audi's genuinely obsessed with, they've decided that lighting is the new chrome. There are up to 8 different light signatures. The indicators literally project an arrow onto the tarmac. And when you open the door, it beams a little glowing rhombus onto the ground, for absolutely no reason other than to make your neighbors feel poor. It's ridiculous. It's pointless. I love it. Inside they've gone properly mad. There's a colossal curved OLED panel, which is really 2 screens in one. And then a third screen, just for the passenger, as standard. And it doesn't stop there. Because the air vents, you don't reach out and move them anymore. No, you open a menu on the touchscreen, and you swipe to aim the air at your own face. A job a toddler could do with 1 finger now takes 3 taps and the patience of a saint. And here's my bet, it'll work perfectly. Right up until the day the warranty runs out. Then one tiny servo motor gives up the ghost, and pointing some air at your knees becomes an £800 repair. Progress, everyone. And there's a panoramic glass roof that switches from clear to frosted in 9 separate sections, whenever you fancy it. Plus 78 LEDs baked into the roof itself. It's not a sunroof, it's a nightclub. The Bang & Olufsen stereo has actuators built into the seats, so the bass literally vibrates your backside. You can option the seats in a mix of leather and alpaca fibre. Alpaca, because nothing says German engineering like a fluffy Peruvian farm animal. But here's the genius bit. Under all that theatre, there's just one engine. A 3-litre V6 diesel. 299 horsepower, 630 Newton-meters, 0 to 62 in 6.2 seconds, with an electric compressor to strangle the turbo lag before it starts. No petrol, no plug-in hybrid. Not yet. And this is where the internet loses its mind. Because half of you are shouting that diesel is dead, and the other half are quietly stroking your fuel receipts, whispering 600 miles on a tank like it's poetry. One of you is right. It's not the ones with the extension cords. Practically, it's still a proper Q7. 5, 6, or 7 seats. 3 child seats side by side in the middle row, a genuine miracle of packaging. And over 2,000 litres of boot with the seats down. It's a removal van in a dinner jacket. The catch? The price. It starts at £81,665. The posh edition one is nearly 89 grand, while the top of the range, Vorsprung, starts at £101,665. It doesn't just cost money, it costs proper house deposit money. So, is it any good? Honestly, yes. Annoyingly, brilliantly, yes. The new Q7 is Audi doing the one thing nobody expected in 2026, building a magnificent, over-engineered diesel dinosaur. It's the last great combustion Q car before the plug takes over. But is it actually better than the Q7 that came before it? Right, quick scorecard. 3 things they got wrong. 1. The touch-sensitive buttons. Because for all the good work on that steering wheel, the main controls are still those horrid little touch-sensitive pads. No edges, no click, no feedback. The kind you brush by accident, and suddenly you've muted the radio, changed the drive mode, and rung your mother-in-law. We complained. Loudly. For years. At least Audi actually listened, bringing proper physical wheels back. But for the rest of the buttons? Nope. Not a chance. Maybe the facelift, maybe the next generation, but for now, you're stuck poking at glass and hoping for the best. 2. Europe gets exactly 1 engine at launch. No petrol, no hot V8. 3. They've buried everything in the touchscreen. even the air vents. More gadgets, more to break, and it costs more than any Q7 before it. Simplicity used to be a feature. They've deleted it. But 3 things they got right. 1. The interior. And this is where Audi nailed it. Start with the controls. There's now a drive select button right there on the steering wheel. No fumbling for a dial by the gear stick. Just your fingers and the whole car changes character in an instant. They've redesigned the stalks for this generation too. The turn signals, the wipers, all reworked into something cleaner, tighter, and just nicer to use. And the quality, exactly what you'd hope for at this money. Everything you touch feels expensive. Everything clicks and thuds like it was screwed together by people who genuinely care. But here's the bit that actually got me. They didn't cheap out in the back. So often, manufacturers go all in up front, then throw scratchy plastic at whoever's stuck in the second or third row. Not here. The proper materials go all the way back. Even the kids get to feel posh. 2. And thank you, Audi, for this one. They finally listened. For years, we moaned about those pathetic fake exhaust tips, blanked off plastic ovals bolted to the bumper, while the real pipe hid underneath like it was ashamed of itself. Well, on this, they're real, functional, actual metal. Turns out if you complain loudly enough, for long enough, they do hear you. 3. The engine. And thank you, Audi, for giving us a proper engine. Not a toy car, not a silent, humming appliance on wheels that needs a nap every 200 miles. A real 3-liter V6 diesel. In a world going soft and electric, this is a proper car. And honestly, we're grateful. So, after all that, should you actually buy one? Here's my honest answer. If you tow, if you do big, boring motorway miles, if you love sitting up high, that commanding, king-of-the-road driving position where you look down on every hatchback groveling in the next lane, and the view out is so clear you can see trouble coming 3 cars ahead. If you need 7 real seats and a boot the size of a small flat, then yes, buy it. Because nothing else does the diesel luxury barge thing this well anymore, and it simply won't be around forever. And yes, it's a lot of money. It'll happily bankrupt you on the options list, and it's arguably too clever for its own good. But you know what? For once, it's worth every penny. Because this is the last of a dying breed. A proper, big, luxurious diesel Audi that'll cross a continent without breaking sweat and tow your entire life up a mountain. They will not make anything like this again. So if you can stretch to it, don't overthink it. Buy it. Buy it now, while you still can. Because a few years from now, when every driveway's got a silent little electric box sat on it, this is the one you'll wish you'd kept. And honestly, I'd have one in a heartbeat.